the Metaverse when I would much rather be in person in the Executive Center. We're joined today by Gary Lam. He is CTO of Livi Bank. And Gary and I have a few things in common. Number one is we're both quarantining. I'm in a hotel and he's made it home already. And second, we're both long-term financial services professionals who have pivoted into the Web3 and financial services. Gary Lam is CTO at Livi Bank. And Gary, for those who have not yet put on the Oculus at your booth there at SIS, can you introduce us to Livi Bank?
Okay, thank you, Walter. Thank you, Scaleup Impact Summit. Yeah, before we jump into the Metaverse, you guys can play around with the Livi team around the floor later on. Quick introduction for myself, CTO for Livi Bank, and I has been serving this financial industry over 15 years in many major banks, and recently decided to pursue my career into more hype, young, full of energies, kind of new industry. Yeah, not so much as a vampire, but yeah, we are working our way to serve the community. Yeah.
Fantastic. And tell me about Livi Bank. This is a purely online bank or a virtual bank. Tell us about the services it offers and how successful it's been since its introduction.
Yeah, thank you. So Livi Bank started in 2019. It's one of the 8 licensed virtual bank in Hong Kong by HKMA. We and a little bit around 2 years old now. Yeah, our key shareholders is BOC Hong Kong, Jardine Matheson, and JD.com. So you can imagine a brand with a strong shareholder support. We are full of like traditional banking know-how with very like to the seasonal technology stack with JD.com, all these e-commerce related kind of innovations in the past 10 years, as well as Jardine Matheson give us a huge opportunity to tap into a big ecosystem that we can create a very unique kind of a virtual bank in this market. Yeah, just a quick intro of what is our key service. In last year, we are the first bank develop a buy now pay later service launched in Hong Kong. Yeah, it was quite we create some noise over there, and kind of slowly changing the spending habit in Hong Kong as well. And starting from this year, we are starting another product called Flexi Loan. So if you go into Livi Bank or join us, right? Get an account, go to the booth and talk to them. Another product is called Flexi Loan that we are launched this year. And today, I think we will deep dive into what 3.0 means to us, and then we would like to talk more later on. Yeah.
Fantastic, Gary. Well, I understand that Livi Bank is in Decentraland. And for those of you who are there in the audience, please do stop by the Livi Bank booth at SIS, whack on the Oculus and go for a walkabout. But tell us, what was the motivating driver to be in Decentraland? Was it just to be cool, or what do you do? Why is Livi Bank in Decentraland?
Yeah, thank you, Walter. Actually, it can share a little story to you all. In early this year, I think as a fintech CTO, we cannot say blind either to the Web 3.0 initiative that is getting more tractions in the market and getting more recognizable in the retail market, especially as well. So we also look into that. But for the Decentraland strategy, for the Metaverse strategy that we go for, we actually go using it in the other way. Not like JP Morgan in Decentraland as well. HSBC also got announced it in Sandbox, right? So for us, we are not too much looking from the marketing angle, but what we're trying to do is create a space for our internal community to have a place to gather, increase our staff engagement, level of engagement within the team, and as well as you may remember, if you were in Hong Kong Q1 this year, we kind of like all of a sudden lockdown, and everyone just go work from home, right? So starting, we are so proud of spending around 1 or 2 weeks that we reshape our infrastructure, that get everything ready, get everyone safe at home. But after that, we kind of our technology team kind of challenging ourselves, say, what can we do more? Now we are all work from home. Then we just search for opportunity. There are many technologies that we looked at before, but at the end, then we look into Decentraland will be one of the good space for us to temporarily become a home for our staff. Yeah, if you go in there, you can see there is a lot of furnitures that we're trying to borrow or copy or scan from our office that we brought into that. We just try to make our staff feel like, all right, it is a virtual presence. It's quite close to what they familiar with, what they used to in the office. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, the Livi Cube, as I understand your space in Decentraland is called, looks like a great place to bring staff together. But when customers or potential customers wander in, what kind of banking services do they get in Metaverse, or is this more relationship?
At the moment, we are not opening as a banking service center. Yeah. However, by appointment, some of the invited guests can come in and have a walk. Basically, the information over there, you can imagine, we kind of make our livibank.com in a 3D style with all the very similar information of the rewards, promotions, latest products, etc., in there. So feel free to talk to our staff and walk around and look at what inside there. Yeah, it's a 4-level building, so you can walk around.
Well, I'm looking forward to exploring. That opens up a bigger question, Gary. Not only is Livi Bank in the Metaverse, but you mentioned JP Morgan and HSBC. What are the motivations behind banks and Fintech companies entering the Metaverse as a technology leader?
I think it's about to create a new user experience for our customers. Yeah, I can say, I cannot speak for them, but for us, we are still exploring that opportunity, what more we can do. So now they potential customer or staff can have their own avatar, have their like kind of a representative of their gesture, emotion. They can do voice over or texting to each other. So what more can they do in terms of engagement, right? And we try to do a few tests on there, like a savage hunt kind of a search and find some goodies, or play some videos, and or you can interact with some with your mobile phone with some QR code. Try to explore these 3D worlds beyond like gaming. What can they do more, like mimicking the real like physical life? Yeah, yeah.
And Gary, around the world, there are, of course, many banks and financial services looking at Metaverse and Web3 as a way of engaging with customers. What are some of the trends globally in Web3 and financial services that you're keeping your eyes on?
I think there are quite a few, but we can like almost see a pattern on that, right? From the traditional ICO, recently IDO, that they try to get fundings from all these small medium projects, try to get funding and make their dream come true. As well as there are multiple kind of what we call utilities services has been around, which is like I see them as a very pure technical with a passion to try to make this foundation works for the future. Yeah, so I see a lot of investment over there. And in the same time, I also see there are some other like charities starting to use leverage the power of decentralized finance, try to, again, fundraising, share rewards or share stories. Some of them now, they try to do that as well. So there are a few areas that I can see slowly evolving. on top of traditional like cryptocurrency buy low, sell high. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was interesting to see how quickly in Web 2, banks turned to Twitter and Facebook for customer service and resolving problems. I'm sure there's going to be more ways to engage with Livi Bank in the metaverse and handle specific problems. Are you finding any which demographics are taking to the virtual bank more than others? Do you have a sweet spot of consumers that really are more likely to use virtual banks?
Maybe there are multiple questions. Then maybe I share a story. So as I said, we just touching two years old and a little bit. So we just did our second anniversary celebration in around April time. We also proudly be one of the first bank in Hong Kong that self-minted NFT collection called Mochi. Yeah, that Mochi collections we use lucky draw, a means of lucky draw, and freely give to Hong Kong customers. With that program, we are minting around 2,000 of them, partly give to our staff and partly go for the public lucky draw, which is 1,888 NFT. With this NFT collection, what we see in the lucky draw program, we look at the data, we attract around 18,000 users that interested in that and try to do the mission that we place it in the app. And then we're excited to see how to grow this community, because if you talk about if any of you run the NFT program before, 1,800 is a huge number, right? And we lucky enough in shorter than 1 month, we can see that effect, and we're hoping to groom these customer segments to give them more rewards and more extra in the future. Yeah. By the way, the NFT collections called Mochi is a bunny. I'm not sure our staff, our colleagues has put Mochi on brought Mochi on the booth. You can ask them what is Mochi and ask them to show you the collection. Yeah, basically it's a unique avatar for with a bunny look like artwork that you can represent yourself. Yeah. You can have a look over there. Yeah.
That's great, Gary, because it is a good way to get people more comfortable with the technology by playing with it. And nothing works quite so well in Hong Kong as a lucky draw. People are immediately taken to it. How else do you see gamification of financial services evolving?
So Livi Bank is a virtual bank. I also see us, besides bank, we also have Fintech. Yeah, if we are looking into the lens of Fintech company, the user base, the customer centric is at the heart of every of us. Yeah, what we want to do is besides the traditional like revenue target or whatsoever, what we want to do is create a unique experience, unique customer journey that our customer will be enjoyable experience while doing traditional banking or even beyond banking. Because as I said earlier on, we have a huge ecosystem by working with Jennings Group. We have a lots of ecosystem partners, about 40 odds of them. Yeah, over there we have a lots of different journey. While Livi cross the travel industry, Livi cross the beauty industry, what can we do? So we just don't let our imagination stop there, right? We create lots of what we call mission in the future. They will be coming to ask our customer to do some mission, and then we will give them rewards, and it may or may not be in a means of NFT. Yeah. So when you talk about gamification, how is it linked to that? Yeah. When we talk about customer centric, customer first, right? One of the key point is how to interact and keep the customer stickiness with our platform. So some kind of traditional DAU, MAU is something that we want to keep up. We want to make sure our system is not only the old-fashioned kind of banking products that you come in, look into your statement, and then transfer money, and that's it, right? We want to create something for our customer to remember the journey, the experience, and then to come back to the app again and again. Yeah.
Gary, you prior to joining Livi Bank had been in traditional financial services, still in technology. How has moving into a virtual bank challenged you as a technology professional? And what are some of the new skills that you've had to learn in order to succeed in your role?
Great questions. So yeah, this is about myself, right? Before I joined Livi Bank, I am I would say is lucky enough. I can taste different areas of delivering banking products for the consumers. If you look at my background, I have background in retail, commercial banking, investment banks, and ultra high net worth segments as well. Throughout those, I have opportunity to learn a lot of various traditional banking products. Yeah, and in the same time, as a technologist, we always challenge ourselves how to make it better, faster, and we trying to use technology to lead the conversation and try to use the business case to validate our ideas. So in Livi Bank, it actually is a fantastic platform to make that happen, because the team we are actually quite flat within Livi Bank banking structure. Recently, we launched what we call Beyond Agile Way. We call Formula One model, that we actually as a senior management group, we are committed to fully empower every single staff within the Formula One team to make their own decision, to run their own show. And then what our role become to support them. Where is the blockers? What can we do more for them? We might have some common sense, but many occasions I found in the Formula One forum is we actually got beat up by the team because they got lots of customer understanding research with the ideation well groomed, and then when we challenge them, we said, "Oh, okay, yeah, right, yeah, let's move on," right? So I'm so proud to work with a group like this, and we are also so proud to create not only a virtual bank products, but also have a unique culture that we Livi Bank remains. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for those of you in traditional financial services who are exploring or thinking about careers in Web3 and DeFi, the energy level is so much higher, and the enthusiasm, it's very different. It's hard to beat, and it can be exhausting, but it really makes you, brings out the best.
Yeah.
Now, Gary, the Metaverse and Decentraland, they're new avenues to reach the consumers. And, in financial technology, they talk a lot about DeFi, decentralized finance, but really Livi Bank is an example of CeFi, or centralized finance. Yeah. How do you find the authorities and the regulators preparing themselves for a DeFi world? And how are you adjusting and preparing for possibilities in DeFi, if at all?
Yeah. If we talk about that, we go back to what is Web 3.0 and what Web 2.0, right? About ownership of data, about the engagement of the community and social engagement, right? For us, even though we call ourselves Web 3.0 team internally, yeah, but personal speaking, I would say as a bank, as a regulated organization, not only banks, but maybe insurance and maybe other industry, you can never go into Web 3.0 and most Web 2.5, right? Or maybe Web 4.0, combine two things together. So what I see as a bank, especially as a virtual bank, we not only have the commitments to leverage technology to introduce better experience to our customer, but also I think we have a social responsibility to promote financial inclusion, to work with both sides of the game. What am I talking about? This is while we owning this technology now, we self-minted, but we shouldn't close our door to partner with many other ecosystem players. When we talk about ecosystem player, just now I was mentioning about the retail markets, but what if a fintech, we can collaborate with them, right? Many of you guys in Scaleup Summit right now, you're a fintech. You can talk to our staff and look into collaboration opportunity, right? Together, then we can fulfill the mission, right? For Livi Bank, we are doing what we call traditionally saving, lending, and remittance, transfer money business, right? That sounds boring, right? But together, I believe we can reshape this business, and we can create something more interesting in the markets, just like what we did buy now, pay later last year. Yeah.
And Gary, in Asia Pacific, which other countries do you see having kind of a being at the forefront of virtual banking and banking development? Is Hong Kong the center of excellence, a center of excellence? How are we compared to other nations around the region?
Yeah, I would say different regions have different pace and different focus to them. Yeah, for sure within those focus, for example, Hong Kong, we are more looking into risk-based, how to protect our consumer assets, how to protect the citizens' interests, right? For other jurisdictions, they may be more aggressively to exponentially grow their economics, or some of them may be trying to skip multiple generations of technologies because they were so lacking behind in the developing countries, and I can see that their trajectory is quite fast when compared to normally how a country evolved. With this Web 3.0, I can see some countries really skip the entire Web 2.0, 2.5, all the way to Web 3. Yeah, but I spoke with another partners the other day. They say in that country, they still struggling with how many percentage, is it over 40% of their citizens with mobile phone? Yeah, but when they go into that market, they say, okay, forget about mobile phone. We give you a Web 3.0 mobile phone. You go there and you're already transacting with cryptocurrency. So I would say you cannot compare good or bad, but in different jurisdiction with different focus, I can see this race is happening everywhere. Yeah.
Fantastic, Gary. And you've been at Livi Bank for a period in your career. What have been some of the surprises and delights that you've experienced in this new world of virtual banking?
We've been through the mini cycle, and I believe this cycle will repeat and repeat again, right? Every time we deliver a new product, we are actually what we call test and learn. Yeah, we launch a product and we see the feedback from the customer. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they not really likes it. Yeah, sometimes we need to work alongside with regulator to make sure this new product is work in this market safely, and everyone can enjoy the benefits in the same time, right? So we've been through multiple cycles. Up to now, we have launched 18 banking products, yeah, including the product I talked about just now. And this cycle is keep repeating, I can tell you, yeah. And in the recent NPS, Net Promoter Score, that we can see within our survey, first time in my entire career in last 20 years, I see a bank's got positive score, NPS. Yeah. So if you're into that, you know, like traditional bank, we're always struggling with -22 or -15. Yeah. But Livi Bank, the last time we got a positive score. So I'm really proud of that and really happy about the feedback from the customer. They actually like the way that we test and learn. But you know what? I don't expect we just keep going flat like that. As a fintech, we will go through multiple cycles. The next new products come out, they may hate it, and then we learn from it, we improve it, and then we launch it. Then we can see these things again. Yeah.
Well, Gary, I wish we were there live because we could ask the audience by a show of hands how many of you love your bank. But in Hong Kong, I don't know how many hands would be in the air. That's a wonderful feedback to hear the Net Promoter Score for Livi Bank doing so positively and having the positive engagement. What can we expect next from Livi Bank?
So we have been speaking of our next step in multiple channels. So first of all, in this, especially in this Metaverse space, we rebranded ourselves Liviverse. We will continue leverage this technology to seek opportunity to partners, to create excitement and create some kind of mini, I wouldn't say products, it's like mini services that we can work with our customers. If you talk about mainstream businesses, on top of lending business, we work on the last 6 to 8 months. We are looking into more SME, small medium enterprise. So for many of you guys, stay tuned, or you can talk to us. We are in whitelisting right now, so we hopefully within 1 or 2 days, in the best case, can virtually remotely open an SME account. In Hong Kong, I can tell you by working in commercial bank for so many years, this is breaking the records. Yeah, and the last thing, we also look into investment stream as well. So hopefully by early next year, we will see if the market maturity and when it's a good time, then we will also have announcements in that space as well.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to coming into the Livi Cube in Decentraland and learning more about SME banking opportunities as well as the other products you have. Gary, it's been a great introduction to Livi Bank, to your experience, and to also what we can expect as banks enter the metaverse. Thank you so much for the conversation today.
Thank you, Walter. It was a lovely conversation with you. Hopefully, when we come out from quarantine, we can see face to face.
Well, and then we'll put on our Oculus and meet up in Livi Cube after that.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, well, Karina, we'll turn back to you, and thank you so much for inviting us to enjoy Scaleup Impact Summit. Back to the main stage.